Vicious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it! And they are back on turf!
Good evening, good morning, wherever you listen to the Rotherham United podcast. Today we have the review of the Bournemouth game, the 1-0 defeat to the mighty Bournemouth. And we'll look ahead to an even easier game. We're going to visit Top at League on Saturday. Who were unbeaten in 10, well, one defeat in 10 games. So, standard championship stuff will ensue. Thanks to all, first of all, who got involved with the live watch-along or thing we did on Wednesday night. Me and Mick had a good laugh, didn't we?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Really good fun, actually. Really good fun. So lots and lots of people got involved, and there's been a lot of people watching it subsequent as well. So it was good.
I just paused for a moment to look at you sorting your hair out in your.
Well, you were just sticking out, weren't it?
Yeah, you are aware that this is an audio podcast, Ben, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Still video as well, isn't it?
So it does go on YouTube, to be fair.
Oh, yeah.
I suppose. Ben, you weren't with us. It's disappointing for everybody.
Yeah.
Appointment with bed.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have you managed to rewatch most of the game, though?
Yeah. I watched highlights, yeah.
Some of them. So we lost 1-0 to a pretty good counter-attack goal from, I can't remember who scored now, Billings. Who ended up getting man of the match from Sky Sports because he scored a goal, I think. Was the only reason he got man of the match.
Really?
If you want my opinion, you give it Jefferson Lerma for surviving that horrendous tackle at the end.
Listen, I think we really need to just put it out there, on behalf of the Rotherham United podcast, all our listeners and viewers as well, that we really hope he gets well as soon as possible, because I feel for him. I really do. The first thought that went through my mind when I woke up this morning was, God, I hope he's okay. It was just, a horrific challenge. Horrific. It's potentially a career ender, isn't it?
Yeah.
If a couple of steps further and he could have quite easily impaled himself on corner flag. And my understanding is, and I tweeted this out earlier this morning, I got a little bit of news from a friend of mine who lives down there. Apparently the linesman was admitted into A&E at Bournemouth with a broken wrist, for the weight of flagging his flag. And the vigour that he waved it at, it caused him to get a slight fracture of his wrist. I think he was a little bit worried, obviously, that he might not be able to do anything else with it, but I think that'll be all right.
Yes. It was. If you haven't seen the Jefferson Lerma foul, it was given as a foul. So that's that is the word I've got to use. Get yourself watching that, because that is just one of the worst dives I have ever seen, and we've seen some terrible dives. It literally went forward like a physical dive. It was fantastic.
Comedy gold. Absolute comedy gold.
Yeah. But the linesman fell for it, and this is what happens. Anyway, we will try not to talk about the referee too much, but he may or may, he will definitely get a mention at some point, Mr. Stroud. Overall, Ben, it's probably not far off what we expected, but at the same time, we were unlucky not to get some out of the game.
Yeah, played well, missed a few sitters, which I'm not going to speak about because I get really annoyed. But yeah, I think did as well as we could. 1-0 against Bournemouth, who are not a bad side, but they're not Barcelona. They've got some good players, but so I'll go there and get 1-0 and play the way we did. On the highlights, obviously, it wasn't like an even game. Like I said, we had some chances. I had more chances than them. I think all their chances were just long shots from Brooks and people like that. So, yeah, I thought it was a good performance. It was definitely positive.
Yeah, I think you're right. We will quickly mention the chances. I suppose, not quickly, whichever one you want to do it. I'll start with you, Ben. I'll start with the the best bit of skill or best bit of quality of the entire game was Ben Wiles' shot, which was then saved by Begovic. That's what Ben Wiles has got in his locker, isn't it? I mean, it was superb.
I forgot about that. I hadn't seen the angle replay because I watched highlights, but it looks like a good effort. It's Begovic doing it. He was at Chelsea a few years ago, and he was playing as well. It was. So, yeah, what can you do when you get Premier League? He's a Premier League keeper. He still is. I don't care what anyone says.
He is. But you look at what he did to Piggies that other week, gifting them a goal, and then pulls out an absolute worldie to stop us. It's like,
it's Rotherham, isn't it? Remember Al Abzi?
Yeah, we mentioned that last night.
Yeah, it turned Prime Casillas, didn't
he? Yeah. I mean, it was going. It was absolute top bin, weren't it? I mean, it was going to skim the crossbar and the post. It was so far into the top corner, and it's what it is, isn't it? You know.
It's the only thing Wiles did right all night, and I feel harsh saying that, but he didn't have. It's not that it was rubbish, Mick. It's just that he didn't have any real impact on the game.
No, I mean, right from minute one, really, his first touch was really poor all night. He was. I think he's due a rest. I think he's probably due a rest, whether it's mentally or physically or both. It wasn't really in the game, with the exception of that effort, which was an absolute worldie. It really was a stunner. No question about it. But yeah, he didn't have his best game. He didn't have a great game at all, to be fair. So yeah, I think he's probably due a rest personally, but I don't know whether we're going to got anybody to replace him at the moment.
Well, surely Mac must be nearly ready for a game, so you could bring Sean McDonald in for Ben Wiles. Against somebody like Norwich, who you are going to have to soak up a lot of possession. Sean McDonald could probably do that job for us. I don't know. The club do an official man of the match poll.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen this. It was bizarre because me and you, Mick, and I don't know if Ben done this in the highlights, but for me, Lewis Wing was comfortably our best player.
Certainly the first half he was.
Yeah, and he's not even on the 4 list. I can understand McDonald. Let me find the list for us. So Ben Wiles, Richard Wood, Victor Johansson, and Clark Robertson with 4 picks for the official site. A bit bizarre, really, that one. Those 4.
Yeah. I'm not convinced that I would have picked any of those 4, if I'm honest.
No, you could give your hands and pulled off some okay saves, but they were hardly spectacular saves. They were just what you expect him to do.
They were routine.
Yeah,
absolute routine. Let's be fair. You look through the whole game now, and looking back at it. Yeah, they put us under a bit of pressure. Yeah, they created 1 or 2 bits and pieces, but I think all their shots on goal, with the exception of the goal, were from outside the box. They were tame, daisy cutters. They never really put us under a massive amount of actual danger.
No.
So why Johansson was on that list, I'm not saying he had a bad game. Please don't get me wrong, I'm not. But he certainly wasn't in contention for man at match for me. Ben Wiles, we've discussed. I'm not. Nah. Woody were all right, but Woody was Woody, and Clark Robertson were Clark Robertson. You know,
I don't really remember Clark Robertson doing anything.
Well, that's maybe not necessarily a bad thing. That's probably a good thing for a player in the position that he plays in. But him and Woody and Icky just did what they normally do. It was a bizarre selection, but anyway. Whatever.
I'll stick with you, Mick, while we talk about the Freddie one. I'll come to Ben for the Woody miss in a minute. Ben's obviously highly critical of Freddie for one reason or another, Ben. But I mean, I've defended him a lot. You defend him to a certain extent. There's not much you can defend him for on that chance that he missed.
I mean, first of all, the build-up to that chance was fantastic.
Yes. Yeah, it was.
It was probably the best bit of footballing game.
What's Woody doing up there playing? Do you know what I mean? What's he doing? It's like Xavi would do that little flick on. It was real Messi-esque, weren't it?
It was. Yeah, it was, absolutely. It was a fantastic ball in.
Something to see Champions League, weren't it?
Yeah. And to be fair to Freddie, it was a good run by Freddie as well.
It was. And a good first touch.
But the second touch, for me, was a touch of a player who was a bit rusty, who's not really had a lot of game time. He's got to hit the target from there. You've got to. Freddie's in a frame of mind, because I know him, obviously, and I've discussed it with him, obviously. It seems to me to be a player who's in a frame of mind where he thinks he's not in the team because he's not scoring the goals. He's not scoring the goals because he's not in the team, so it's a bit of a catch-22. So the only thing that is on his mind when he gets into a position, or even a possible, a little bit of a position, is to go for goal. And I think he probably snatched at the shot. He didn't take his time. It would have been a lot easier just to lift it over the keeper, and it would have been a fantastic goal. I think he just rushed it, to be honest. But he's got to hit the target, hasn't you? What I would say about Freddie last night is he put himself about. He did press, and he did press in the right areas. And this time, he didn't get any help off Hursty, whereas previously Hursty's done the pressing and Freddie hasn't. It was the other way around last night. I thought he played all right, Freddie, when he came on for the amount of time he was on there. And had he got another chance, I think he would have probably buried it. But you don't get those chances. You get one a game in this division if you get one, don't you?
Yeah, I will come on to Hurst, Ben. This is my issue with Hurst, is that Smith makes those runs that Freddie makes. That run that Freddie made for the goal was a fantastic run. Smith makes those runs, and Vass made them, to be fair, at times. Hurst can run around a lot, but I can't remember him. I'm sure somebody correct me if we're wrong, but I can't remember him making a clever run, an incisive pass, something that is potentially game changing. I can't remember Hurst doing that.
I don't know. How old is he? Is he 21?
21, 22, something like that.
I don't think he's good enough. I think that's the bottom line. I think he's clutching at straws, even being in this division. I know it's harsh. We've said he's had development. He's had 8 months now. I think he needs to pull his socks up or get lost because it's not good enough. End of the day, because it's lost of the game. End of the day, it's lost of the game. Oh, part of it's lost of the game.
Yeah.
And when you're down, go.
No. Carry on, Ben.
I can't remember what I was going to say. It's just he needs to develop. I think he probably should have gone back. Obviously, I said, I thought I was under the illusion it was there here to develop, but he's getting a lot of game time. If that's the case, a lot of game time. I just don't think he's good enough for this division, in my opinion.
I really want him to do well. I really want him to get a goal and see what happens. But I just, at the minute, Mick, it feels like he could play till September consistently and still not score. That's just the form he's in.
So he's not even getting in the right positions, and that's the issue. Form is irrelevant if you're not in the right place.
Yeah.
I'm with Ben on this, definitely. If he was 17, 18, then fair enough. But Ben Wiles is younger than him. Ben Wiles is an accomplished championship player now. And it's not about positions, because for me, the position that Ben Wiles plays in, there's more responsibility there than there is as a striker in terms of influencing the game. A striker could have 2 touches in a game and win game for you.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to do any of the work, whereas Ben Wiles has to take all that responsibility of central midfield at that age, and does it comfortably.
He does that. Oh.
So, yeah.
Yes. I hope it'll come with. I still have that hope. We've still got 3 months left of the season, just under 3 months left of the season. Hopefully, I'll get 1 and get 7. I just can't. It doesn't feel like it's going to happen, but I really hope it does. Not just for us, but for him. He is trying. It's just not working. So hopefully, it does come good at some point soon. It's one of them that he'll go on loan to somebody next season, and let's say a club like Accrington in League One, and go get 25.
Yeah. That might be just what he needs.
Yeah.
That might well be what he needs. We've said that for quite a bit of this season now, haven't we? Maybe he does need to be down in League One and get some confidence knocking goals in and getting battered about a bit as well. Get a little bit get a bit more streetwise.
Yeah, agreed. Ben, the Woody chance. Me and Mick talked about this a lot last night. What are your thoughts on it, first of all?
I don't think you can do anything. He's Woody. I think you've got to take everything into consideration. If that's Giles, I want that back at net. He's Woody. He's 35. Let's be real. He's probably not got any body control, as much body control as he would. He's 35. He's moving forward. He's sitting on his knee. I watched it 3 or 4 times. This is his knee. He's going forward. I don't think you really can complain. I mean, he's done the best he can. He's tried to slow himself down, but it's just his knee, and I don't think he can.
If you watch replays, Smithy obviously in front of him. Smithy gets his legs in a tangle, and Smithy should be the one that gets something on the ball. Again, I'm not saying Smithy's crap, but he was still the same as Woody. He just got himself in a bit of a tangle, and neither of them could. But that was shortly after the goal. And that changes the entire complexion of the game if you get a goal there.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just Well, that's there are 3 chances we should have scored from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't really think of any other properly threatening moments from Bournemouth.
No, I can't either.
But that's the difference between when you play Bournemouth and when you play Wickham. If Bournemouth get one chance, the chances are they're going to take that one chance. If you play Wickham, you tend to get a couple more chances, for example. So
chances to win the game.
It's not hard. I know we say, we take our chances and that. Professional football, when you look at the chances, like, I'd understand if it were one game, but it's been about 5 years now, and we're still doing the same thing. We can't score from edge of box or 2 yards out or one-on-ones. Like, surely, it can't be that hard. Obviously, I'm saying that I'm not a professional footballer, but surely they've noticed it. Like, is it that hard to score one-on-one?
Well, you've played football at a very low level, like we have.
Yeah,
one-on-ones can be the most pressurised situation.
Yeah, but if it's profession, like I've said that. I'm not even going to go into that. I've said that, but I suppose they are. But
Smith scored a one-on-one, didn't he, against Blackburn? Blackburn scored that one-on-one.
Yes.
So yeah. But we score. A lot of our goals have come from midfield this season.
Yeah.
But anyway, a lot of positives from it. Disappointing because it was an opportunity to pull away from the relegation zone and then to drag 2 or 3 more teams really, really back into it.
Yeah.
So we've got to look at it as points drop because in a strange sort of way, looking at a points drop is actually a positive.
Yeah.
Because who would have thought in September that we'd be disappointed to lose. Very disappointed to lose 1-0. That would have looked an okay result in September, for example, at Bournemouth.
Yeah, definitely.
It does show how far we've come. The condescension from Sky Sports, because obviously we did the watch along, but so we couldn't hear most of the commentary. But I heard, see reports on Twitter about how lucky we were to stop at a hotel in Bournemouth.
Yeah,
looking at Rotherham. Wayne's budget got mentioned, this, that, and other. But as the game finished, as we stopped the recording, we were still talking, and the post-match interview came on. I can't remember what the post-match interviewer's name is, but it's one that does regular ones. And it was the most condescending questions to Warney. You've lost, but well done. It was that type of thing, wasn't it?
It was horrendous. Like I said to you, I think, Matt, when we were watching it, the only thing that we're missing was a little pat on the head for Warney after it. Thank you very much, Paul. You're such a nice man. Listen, we know that we can be a direct side. We can play direct, although the vast majority of long balls that were played last night were played by Bournemouth, not us. We know that we can be aggressive, absolutely. We know we can be physical, absolutely. But we can also do all the other things that other teams do. Sometimes not as well, sometimes as well. It's a work in progress, and there's a lot of progress happened this season. What really gets my goat more than anything else about this patronising attitude from Sky Sports is not necessarily the fact that they said, we direct, we score from set pieces, bloody. That doesn't necessarily. It's the context that it's used in. And I'll give you an example. I don't know who the pleb was who were in the thing at half time.
Keith Andrews.
Keith Andrews. He's talking about a free kick right on half time that we have. The ball comes into the box, delivered in by Dan Barlas to back post. Icky knocks it across. It's the Woody chance, yeah. Icky knocks it across, and Woody obviously puts it over the bar. At no point from the second that the ball left Dan Barlaser's foot to the time that it hit the row Z in the back of the stand did any Bournemouth player come within 3 yards of that football. And yet, in the context of that, what he was saying was Bournemouth have got to expect that sort of aggression and what I can't remember the other word he used, but he used the word aggression and physicality.
Probably physicality, yeah.
In the context of an incident where Bournemouth weren't even looking to play the ball. Yeah. It's so all that does to me is that proves that they've got a script. They've got a script. These are the things you need to say about this team and that team. That's your job. Just spout it out.
Well, it's like on a championship game and on a Premier League game.
You said that,
before, yeah. But so I understand that, and I understand there's lots of teams watching the championship. But Keith Andrews is the go-to man. If you watch a game of championship football on Sky, the chances are Keith Andrews is in the studio talking about it, which is fine. If that's what you're going to do, that's fine. But you've got to watch the games. You've got to do your research and understand how teams play. That is just generic nonsense. I said somebody just gives them some talking points. So right, these are physical. These are this. These are that. These are other. And this is their full-time job. This is not like us three doing a podcast, or the three people down at pub and things like that. It's the national television where it's the most watched sport on the time. I watched Champions League one last night, so maybe less so. But do a bit of research. Watch a game. Just watch us play football. You know what I mean?
How long have you been doing punditry for?
It's a few years, Keith Andrews.
Yeah, that's why his name Premier League then, isn't it?
Yeah, you're probably right, Ben. What it is unprofessional. But it's not just unprofessional from him, it's unprofessional from Sky as a whole.
Sky are dying out, I think, because I don't watch Sky. In 10 years, I don't think really anybody will watch Sky. I don't really watch Premier League football. Think about it the other day. It's another topic, but I don't watch Premier League football. Even if it's on, I don't care. I don't look at league table. No. I don't watch Sky. Sky will die out because nobody cares about them. And because of things like this. They do things like this and it just makes me not want to watch it, so I don't watch it. And my generation don't watch it. Everyone I know don't really watch Sky apart from the team they support. If they're on, they'll watch it on Sky. But if it's not on Sky, they don't care.
It's different. I know when we this is before Ben's time, when the Football League started to be properly come on telly for Sky Sports, it seemed like pretty good coverage. They had fairly knowledgeable people. The commentators were quite good. It seemed pretty good. Yeah. And again, this is a slightly different conversation, but the issue with Sky's football coverage is average.
Yeah.
But then their other coverage of every other sport is fantastic. The Formula 1 coverage, if you like Formula 1, is fantastic. The cricket coverage, if you like cricket, is fantastic. But their football, particularly the Football League, particularly the EFL, their coverage is so average that I just don't want to watch it. If you were to give me the opportunity to pay an extra £10 to watch iFollow last night, I'd have paid that tenner to watch iFollow last night rather than listen to that.
100%. I would. 100%, and that's a massive issue. That is the big issue. I used to look forward to my team. I used to look forward to Rotherham United being on telly. Oh, great! You'd think, oh, great, we're on telly this month. I dread it. I dread it. I dread the fact that we're going to be on telly. Just let me pay me tenner. Let me pay me tenner for every home game or every away game, whatever it is. Please, 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 because the coverage on Sky is abysmal. And another thing I'd said to you about last night, we're going back to the Bournemouth game. In my view, first half, what a fantastic save there was from a shot. I can't remember who put the shot in. I think it might have been Crooks, I'm not sure. But the save was amazing, fantastic by the defender.
Yeah.
And we never see it. We never get a mention of it. We don't get a replay. And it was, for me, it looked like a clear handball. But certainly, if it wasn't, it was one that was up for debate and up for discussion and up for a second look. But we get nothing. We get 3 replays from 4 different angles of the ball that comes off Woody's knee and hits him on arm. I don't know. Maybe it's us. Maybe it's us that are a little bit sort of, insecure about our club and our size.
I don't think we are, because we accept what we are. We know we're Rotherham United. We know we're not here to battle in to battle at the top end of the championship. But at the same time, we are a championship club. We have spent a reasonable amount of times at the championship. One of the things that were mentioned, I saw on Twitter or commentary, is that effectively Rotherham are lucky to be at this level.
Yeah.
No, we don't. We have earned our right to be at this level this season, and we have earned our right to be at this level for plenty of other seasons. I mean, speaking in 80s, Mick, there were plenty of years at Championship. In the early 2000s, there were plenty of years at Championship. With the Steve Evans, there were plenty of years at Championship. we're all right. We're not an established championship team, but we've been there longer than other teams.
It's only since Sky came along that this has happened. But they're still London and South centric, aren't they? As well, apart from Liverpool and Man U, obviously. So and Leeds. Apologies.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is what it is, isn't it?
Yes. On a Rotherham point of view, it was unlucky not to pick anything up, but at the same time, that's a positive that we're unlucky not to pick something against Bournemouth, who were in a playoff position. I don't have to be right about it. Yeah. So, anything else you want to touch on the Bournemouth game before we move on to talk about the Norwich game?
Just a quick one on Mr. Stroud. I mean, I was very vocal prior to the game about the fact that I felt it was going to stiff us. It didn't need to, as it turned out. I think the yellow card for Ben Wiles is an absolute joke. My understanding is I've not actually been able to see the full replay yet, but he wasn't even looking at it. He was looking in the opposite direction, and yet still manages to give a yellow card based on old Jeff again. You know, I mean, that was another injury that he managed to get. He managed to escape from when the wind from Ben Wiles's breath knocked him over. It was dreadful, but he didn't have a bad game, to be honest with you, Stroud. He made a couple of howlers, but I mean, that's just par for the course, isn't it? But the booking for Ben Wiles is a joke. I've read somewhere that apparently the rules have changed and yellow cards could be appealed. I don't know whether that's right or not. I don't know. I've not really done any research. So perhaps I should just shut up.
Okay, let's do that. Okay. So we're going to be going to Carrow Road at the weekend. So we've had a few games this season where we haven't won for a very long time. Surprisingly, guess when the last time we beat Norwich was?
1965.
1966. That's the last time we won at Carrow Road.
Well, we're into 2021 now, so maybe we're going on 55-year cycle. So get ready, Norwich.
Exactly. It's going to be very difficult. Let's be right about it. Our record against them, I'll just finish off our record against them because it is pretty bad. I said not win at Norwich since 1966. We have one win in the last 18 games across home and away against Norwich. And that was when we won when Adeyemi and Yates scored in the very early days of Paul Warne.
Yeah.
They are a decent enough team, aren't they? Let's be right about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the squad at minute, but I'm guessing it's good. I don't know the managers. They've still got that Faulkner guy, whatever his name is.
Daniel Farker.
He's a good manager. They've still got Pookie.
Timo Pukki's still there. Todd Cantwell's still there. Max Aarons is still there. Bayern Munich are lining up a bid for Max Aarons.
Wow. They've got a very good team. Todd Cantwell was a good player. Like we said, Max Aarons. Wow. It's not looking good, really, I don't think. But we all... yeah. As long as McDonald don't go in and, drop kick somebody, we should be all right this time.
Yeah, that's a good point. That was you make a good point there, Ben. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Is Campbell the lad with the daft hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was daft at the start of the season. He went all Jack Grealish on us, didn't he? In terms of his hair. But I think
I'm sure in terms of his ability
now.
To stand on 2 feet as well, he probably did.
I'm surprised he stayed with them, to be honest, Cantwell. I can understand Pookie staying there because Pookie's coming towards the end of his career. Cantwell's very young. We were linked with Leeds in summer for 12 to 14 million, something like that, but for some reason that never went through. And like I said, Max Aarons is reportedly going to Bayern Munich for somewhere between 30 and 35 million in the summer. I say all these things, but they're a well-run club, mate. They don't spend £35 million on somebody. They bring in Timo Pukki for not much money. I think Cantwell came from the youth system. I could be corrected on that one. There's a lot to be admired about their way they do things off the pitch, so I say.
Yeah, I have no gripe with Norwich City at all. They do, as you pointed out there, they've done a really good job of becoming a sustainable football club. One of the bonuses they've got is obviously they've got a bit of a captive audience around there, haven't they? Because there's nobody within 15,000 miles of them, with the exception of Ipswich, and nobody wants to support Ipswich, do they? So yeah, I mean, no, they've done a really good job, and they're a cracking side, and they're obviously getting the parachute payments as well, so they're able to maintain that squad. Certainly for a season. If they don't go up, then it might change. But yeah, it's going to be a really tough game. But records are there to be broken, and we've broken some 55-year-old records already this season. We've had 3. We are more than comfortable to make it 4, and then we'll have a look at some more for the rest of the season. We can go there and get a result. We are capable.
We can, yeah.
But like I said to you, said before last night, Tuesday night's game, Wednesday night's game, whatever day it were, we weren't expecting anything out of these 2 games anyway. I don't think these are not our battles; they're just free hits. Yeah, for me. So
yeah, I probably agree. They sit 4 points clear at the top, 5 points clear at third. Ben, something we have all know about Norwich is we mentioned the off-field stuff. When we've played them in the past, they're not afraid to go down after a slight breeze, are they?
They've got Cantwell in the team, haven't they?
Well, yeah.
Of course, yeah. I'm glad it's not on Sky. Could really be accused of being wrestling them to the ground, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a hard game. It's going to be a very hard game, whether they throw themselves on the floor or not. I'm not looking forward to it at all.
I might mention another player. I didn't even mention Emi Buendia, who's a sensational footballer. He's on 9 goals this season, with a couple of assists in there as well. But he is very much of the type of person who will throw himself around. I mean, he's scored 9 goals and assisted 10 in 24 games. So he's been involved in 19 goals in 24 games, which is why the top of the league.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I've forgotten his name, but the referee we've got is the one that refereed us against Swansea at home as well, isn't it?
Tony Harrington.
Yeah, that's him. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, listen, we can just go and play our game, and we go bully them. If they get some free kicks, they get some free kicks. And we just, like I said to you, it's free hit. It is a free hit.
Yeah.
And anybody who complains if we go down 2-0, 2-1, 1-0, whatever it is, don't. Have a word with yourself. We've got our bigger battle. We have got bigger fish to fry, and that is all about beating the teams around us, because we've got them all to play still, and most of them at home. So Wickham at home, Birmingham at home, Coventry at home, QPR at home. We've got all these teams that are around us to play at home. So those are the battles we need to be winning.
Yeah, I agree. It will be Matt Crooks' 75th league appearance for us on Saturday, assuming he plays. Ben, what type of change are you expecting? Because bear in mind, last time we played on a Wednesday and played on Saturday with Preston, when he made 5-6 changes. It paid off on that day. Can you see the same amount of changes? Less, more? What do you think?
I don't know. It's hard because we aren't training and we don't know the fitness levels. It's hard because it all bases on how the players recover. Because if they get 3 hours sleep, it's going to make a difference if they get 12 hours sleep. Mm-hmm. It all depends on how people's bodies recover. Yeah. So I don't know. It depends, like I said, on. I'd like to see some change. I don't know. I wouldn't like to see any changes, to be honest, actually. I don't really want it. It's a good team.
You managed to change your mind then without me influencing you.
I don't think they need to make any changes. I think that's probably our strongest team that started. I don't think we should make any changes. That's our strongest team, in my opinion.
Nick?
Yeah, I can see an argument for both. We've got Forest on Tuesday. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? I can't remember. I think it's Tuesday.
Tuesday. On telly again, though.
On telly again. So we've got some patronising Sky Sports commentary to come, but I'm sure we'll be able to talk all over the top of that like we did last night. No, I don't think I'm going to do what Ben does, or just did just then. I think probably no. That's genuinely that's how I am. No, probably not. But we've got a big game on Tuesday, so maybe we make a couple of alterations. Maybe Sean McDaniel comes in. He adds just that little bit more bite at midfield. Barley's were a little bit. It's been a little bit anonymous the last couple of games. So I don't know. No change.
Cool. I wouldn't be surprised to see 3 or 4 changes. I think Sean McDonald will come in. It wouldn't surprise me for him to rest Crooks. Because if you take Crooks out, you can put Freddie and you can put Hurst in. You can potentially put Sadler there. Supposedly Wing can play in that attacking position. So potentially you got that as well. You could even play Wiles just behind striker, to be fair. So there are options by just removing him. Can Woody play? If he's played Wednesday, can he play Saturday and then Tuesday again after that? It's about managing players with slight niggles, slight injuries. I wouldn't be surprised to see at least 2 to 3 changes, but I would be surprised if it's the same as Preston, although that was surprising when it happened. So who knows? Yeah. Yes. So, Ben, I want you to predict the scoreline for me, please.
2-1 Norwich.
Cool. Mick?
Yeah, I think we'll score. I do think we'll score. But I'm going 3-1 Norwich.
I'm going 2-0. 2-0 Norwich. We've looked a little bit toothless last couple of games, haven't we? I know we scored against Cardiff, but we created the chances, didn't score them. But I suppose if Crooks is on the end of the Freddie's chance or Smith is, it might be a different story. Yeah. But we haven't looked too convincing in front of goals. That one, so 2-0. It wouldn't be the worst result in the world because let's just get this game out of the way. Is how I'm sort of feeling in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once it's still, we can. This is, I think, the last game of the big boys, really.
Yeah.
Other than Brentford, we've obviously got Brentford to play. This will be the second Norwich game. So we've already played Swansea twice. We've played Brentford once. The rest of the top 6 are there to be got at. Bournemouth showed last night. They're 6. The rest of the top 6 are there to be got at. Brentford are the only ones that are a real issue.
Let's be fair, there's only 3 teams in this league, and then that's Brentford, Norwich, and Swansea. They are the only 3 teams that are any good. And Swansea have proved that they can be crap. Because when we played them at their place, they were dreadful, weren't they? So, but Barnsley went away to Brentford and beat them the other day. You know, that run of theirs had to come to an end sooner or later, and it has done. So it depends how they pick themselves up, if they're capable of picking themselves up, because they might not be. So we'll see.
Just looking at our fixtures, I know I'm looking very far ahead here, but I'm looking at our 5 or 6 games of the season, and we're going to be playing teams who have nothing to play for in theory. Middlesbrough won't be anywhere near the playoffs, and we've got them 4th last game of the season. Barnsley, you wouldn't expect to be anywhere near the playoffs, and they're certainly not going to be anywhere near relegation zone. Blackburn are not going to be anywhere, and Cardiff are probably not going to be anywhere. And that's perfect. Those are the teams you want to be playing towards the end of the season. You don't want to be playing Wycombe. You don't want to be playing Sheffield Wednesday, who will have something to play for. You want these who are already on beach.
100%.
So, but hopefully, it won't matter by then. Hopefully, we've got enough points on the board. Let's see. I hope. So, thank you all for listening. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. We've got a few more people subscribing after our watch along. We will be doing another watch along audio thing for the Forest game, which is obviously live on Sky again. We may start doing them a bit more frequently, potentially, but we'll know more on Monday. Obviously, with the lockdown restrictions are potentially gradually lifted. We might be last couple of weeks of season. There's a chance we might be back in stadium, so that'll all depend on what happens from then. You never know. I'm still holding on for that ray of light. We can hope and pray, but hopefully by August, everything will be back to 12,000 people shouting and screaming at people, and hopefully that'll be in the Championship as well. And then from our personal point of view, we'll be able to go back and do this together instead of doing this from miles and miles away. And hopefully it will improve it for you guys that are watching and listening as well, in theory. If it's always been this crap, I apologise, but
Listen, you've just got to be honest. We said last night we weren't going to be professional, didn't we? And true to form, it weren't.
No, that's true. Very true.
Lots of people got involved, and if anybody is listening who did get involved or watching this on YouTube who did get involved, and you've got some ideas as to how it might be better, I'm happy to step down. Not a problem. Bring Ben in. But yeah, if you have got any suggestions as to what you might think might want to be, it should be included, then let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Thoughts, Ben?
I agree with everything Mick just said, apart from him stepping down and me stepping in.
You enjoyed it, Ben? It was just like, and I said to my wife after we did it, it was just like us sat watching it.
Yeah, I might do it, but I disagree with a lot of people. I don't know why, but I view football very differently to a lot of people. Maybe it's me weird, but I could argue about football all day, but that's me.
Having known you for basically your whole life, I can confirm you are very weird. So, yeah, you might even stay awake for the whole match next time. Who knows?
Yeah, I might. It depends. If we've got under 3, then I'm not going to sit and listen to it.
Fair enough. So yeah, please follow us on Twitter, Facebook. Ben has the login details for Instagram, so Ben is going to be in charge of Instagram.
Follow it. Yeah, follow it. The only thing I'll put on is when we're next recording and when the next show is going out at the minute. But,
good enough. That's fine.
So yeah, just follow that. We might, Matt's not going live on there as well. But,
try and finish a sentence, mate.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be back on Monday morning, which will be the review of the Norwich game. We'll look ahead to the Forest game, and any of the news, injuries, whatever comes back from that, we'll do that. After the international break coming up in a month or so, at the end of this month, is it? No, the end of March. So a month or so away from the international break, and we'll try and do some stuff over that period as well. But that feels like about 10 games away, isn't it?
Yeah.
So thank you all for listening, getting involved. We will see you all then, and see you all hopefully for the watch along on Tuesday. Benjamin, I'm glad you've been available to stay awake for this. I really appreciate it, mate.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. And Mick, it's always been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you everybody else who is listening. And we'll see you all soonish. Cheers, guys.
Ravel, ambitious, but brilliant!